Where's that not going? It's live. That's recording. That's live. Goes for our porter. STEPN, baby. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Cameras, cameras, cameras. I do love how the camera on this one doesn't pick up the microphone on the side. Good morning, everyone on stage. We've got a couple of people in the crowd. We've got more people filing in. Grape Gaming Day. This is our, I think we're something like 4 weeks in now. So it's a pretty small crowd. It's building out, but we do record this live to Grape and live to my YouTube. So I'll record that, edit it out. 3 guests joining us today. That in my YouTube is live. We've got Yawn and Jason from STEPN. And then we're going to have Shade coming in, the second guest, and Chainmyth to finish it off. So 3 games that have been here before, and I do a lot of work with STEPN, so it's going to be a bit of a weird one. It's only half an hour. And, you know, we do an hour every stage, every weekend at 11, 12 o'clock our time here in Australia. So, I mean, obviously, I'm well appraised on it. We do a lot of events for it where we do jogging with Barn Dog. We had that for an hour and a half this morning. You can see on stage I've got a repeating video there of me actually physically using the app. So it's been an amazing sensation. Yawn, welcome to stage. How are you, man?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Now, Yawn, you've been here before. We've had multiple AMAs. The team at Grape, members at Grape. We should all know who you are. But what's funny is Solana still. I'm still seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh wow, we've only just heard about STEPN." Last week we had a massive launch on the IEO with Binance, and we're starting to see a whole lot of Binance people coming in now to the system and saying they've just bought shoes or they're starting to look at Solana and all those kinds of things. But how do you think that's worked with Solana at the moment? How come there's still people missing it? We've got 92,000 followers on Twitter. It's active, over 30,000 daily users. The game is monstering along. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Probably we haven't do again. All the sort of marketing is pretty much revolve around like sort of within the community and the friend family of the community. So it's not really surprising that people still hasn't heard about us. I think again we haven't attended any conferences. There's not really any paid advertising down, so I think many of them just organic. People making videos and writing some articles about us. So yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the reason. But I mean, give another few, maybe a couple months, and hopefully that people know us.
Just sending out another tweet at the same time. Now, a pretty amazing game. Let's go through the basics because I didn't even really do that. It's funny because I know so much and you've been here as well several times. We kind of go over the niceties. Do you want to do a quick how you're going 911 on STEPN? What is it? Move to earn? Just a brief overview of it because there's so much I'd love to get into. We've got half an hour on stage and we can get that out very easily.
Sure. So yes, so STEPN is a mobile app. So either you can download from iOS store or the Google Play Store. So and also it is an outdoor app, so people have to walk, jog, or run outdoors with with your mobile, and then because it's a move to earn, meaning that you have to have an NFT, a sneaker NFT that you have to buy from the in-app marketplace. And then you carry your phone, you basically have to move outdoors and then you earn tokens. And then this token can either be swapped into stablecoin in the app or people can just use it, burning it to access different sort of game features.
So what one of the reasons I kind of think that maybe the success hasn't been noticed as much is that you've got something that a lot of other games don't have with an in-game marketplace. So that's not really tracking on things like people using metrics from Magic Eden, Solana, and Fractals. Do you think maybe that's on par there? We're missing it because the NFTs are going huge at the moment. 10 floor Solana, and that's just for the common sneakers. You know, the uncommons are 50 to 100 Solana. They're quite expensive.
Yeah, that actually could be a possibility that because again, you have all these like a monitoring website. And basically, they trying to rank the NFT sell volumes on all these NFT marketplaces. But I think they're missing out the one that in our mobile app. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had some really big news over the last week with the Binance launch and the governance coin went live. And that really had a massive week. It sat at 10 cents, you know, so it did it 10 times. And in a market that's kind of very bear market at the moment with game tokens, it did 10 times in the first day. You know, it went up to 16 cents, then went down. And over the weekend and Monday, it's kind of exploded to hit 45 cents and settled down a little bit. So as a launch, going on to a multiple chain, how are you with that? Do you think that was a successful launch? Are you happy with that? Obviously, people are speculating on the coin as well. Do you want to go into that a little bit for people to understand?
Yes. Yeah, we were actually quite surprised that the price went up because we hadn't put any actual use cases of the token. And but compared to other launchpad token, it's been relatively performing quite well. I think the important part for us now is to work out the usabilities of the governance token in the app, and then yeah, so and then the token will be will have a real use of it. But so far people are speculating on the prices, and the people should do it carefully.
Yeah, so it sounds like, and this is hard because obviously we're talking every Saturday night about this, but the use cases for the coin. So it's got 6 billion total release. So obviously it's completely different than many of the games that we're used to with the governance coin. actually having less use cases. But you guys have already said there's going to be 5 different use cases before now, and you're still obviously working on the white paper for the tokenomics. So I mean, does that mean that there could be potentially a whole lot more that the crowd doesn't know about at the moment?
Yes, and we actually are looking back on the traditional way of how the governance token is utilized in the app. And I mean, I think one reason that people like the app is because of the simplicities. And we're looking at the how, originally we'll talk about like you have to stake the governance token, you have to put this and that. And then we also have to consider, say, how does the non-crypto user see the governance token, for example. So while they accept staking, while they understand staking, and if they can't, we need to find out other ways to use the governance token. The staking might not be the optimal sort of solutions there. So because sometimes, when we are in this industry, we're crypto native, and we just take things for granted. We say, oh, staking, I understand, that's it. So, but it might be really difficult for non-crypto users to even understand what staking is and what they can get out of the staking. So that's sort of the one key sort of hurdle for us is that we're gonna need to make the whole use case of governance token so simple that not only that the crypto people understand, but also non-crypto people can understand. And that will, almost like a juggle a few balls at the same time. And so that's sort of the main issues at the moment with designing of the governance token.
And then for people to understand the token and that a little bit more about the governance token. So if the use case is in the game at 6 billion full dilution, the coins that are used in game, they're going to be burnt. Is that right? Or are they going to be kept in a separate wallet and reused down the track?
So there are multiple ways we can use it. So at the current sort of, because again, we haven't really finalized anything yet. So definitely there will be a burn option, but there also going to be a stake. But in what, will that be a stake? We haven't decided, and in which way we're going to stake it or how we call it, we don't know. But there will be some sort of a locking, and then there will be some sort of a recycling as well. So there will be sort of a multi-layered mechanics, but including what you have said.
So obviously the staking, the governance coin, it's going to be used. One of the aims that you guys put out in November with your first white paper and discussions and all of the media was around buying back carbon. So carbon credits being healthy for the environment and there's an aim there. So is that going to mean people that are participating in the governance side of it, staking these coins, they're going to need to be completely active within the game?
Yes. I think if we have one consensus, then it is that we have issues with a lot of this sort of a DeFi protocol. Is you locked or you stake the token, and then you forget about it. You come back maybe half a year later, and say, okay, that's all my sort of native token of that protocol. And we don't think that should be the case for STEPN. I mean, for people to utilize the governance token or even governance voting, then they probably gonna need to walk or run and then get certain weight on their tokens. Because otherwise, if you are for example, institutional investors with like millions of tokens, you can sort of decide how the result, come up with the voting. Maybe you just need a few of, say, the big whales. Then you can decide, are you gonna donate or are you gonna keep the treasury profit? So I think we want to make this more of a people's game, and so it doesn't matter how many tokens you have in your wallet. You can only vote with certain number of tokens that associate with how much energy you have spent, for example.
Because that's something that you've done very well from the beginning, and even with the announcements we had this week regarding the Trailblazers, you know, and the upcoming FOMO event. So we'll talk about that
Mm.
in a minute. But it's been very orientated around people that have supported the team, have actually been active in the game. So Trailblazers, that was a bit of an eye opener when that came out, and actually seeing you rewarding it on the energy used. Is we've talked about this at a few of the Jogging with Barn Dog events, but you're rewarding people for energy use. So they might have bought 9 sneakers, 15 sneakers, and not used them every day, and then you're not giving them the full reward for that investment. And so that's a really unique spin on it. You are making sure you're trying to get the people active and fit and using this game.
I think another thing that we did quite well is to make people guess of what is the next step of us. I mean, maybe for the next event, we will not require how much energy has been used. We'll have a different metric. So it's all about the executions of activity. I think we touched that a little bit last time. Is that you keep people more of you keep yourself almost like unpredictable, and so that people will not have a set sort of mind map or say, okay, so these guys are rewarding the energies. Let's just use a lot of energies. But then next time we're not, rewarding people based on energy, and say, oh my god, and then after a few times, people will learn that nothing's certain this year. I think that's the thing that the unpredictabilities actually and uncertainties sort of entice people.
Absolutely. And the crowd, we are genuinely interested. We've got a lot of people that are doing very thought out game testing. And I've seen this even this morning. We had one of the great guys on channel, Hold for Life, and big in the community. You're building up ambassadors. Obviously, I feel the role as an Aussie ambassador at the moment, but now there's 6 ambassadors, 2 in Japan, 1 in China, 1 in France, 1 in America. So we're building out so many different communities, and it's worth noting Japanese, they are absolutely loving what's happening, and seeing them build out a English-speaking group to help them deal with Web 3.0, because a lot of it's dealt with in Twitter Spaces. We're speaking English. And to see the side effects and the roll-on effects from what's happening from the start of the game has been really amazing. So has the team looked at the success of that and been kind of, I guess, sort of that as a proud moment? And can you build further down that to help the communities continue to grow and flourish in their own native languages?
We are trying that. I think the one thing is about finding the right people, right? So I think another thing that we done, I think we're quite happy, is that we're only getting mod or community helpers or assistants from our own community. And we have been approached like hundreds of times by a professional, CM management company, people we know that doing this kind of works, and say, hey, can we manage your community? And then we sort of say, no, you can't, right? You have to be the, members, and really have to know the app. And then you can manage, you can moderate. And I think then people are actually passionate about it. And then we will reward them accordingly for their works. So for native speaking channels, and we're actually expanding to Turkish, Vietnam. So that's the 2 latest new sort of native sort of a language group on Telegram. And before that we have like Japanese, Chinese, and French as well. So I think we also have to understand that we cannot expand too fast. Otherwise, you sort of you're not having enough energy to manage all of them, and people might feel like being left alone, in their group. So we still want to expand, but we still want to sort of control how fast we expand. Up until we get the right person of that particular language group. We will have to spend a lot of our own energies to moderate and monitor.
And that really does. It's double folded as well, though, because obviously in the game we need more sneakers to come out. It's a high entry point at 10 Solana. So by building at the pace you're building allows you to get genuine people into the community, as well as people that know the game and can help fly the flag. But then it doesn't mean you guys are forced to regulate by throwing out more NFTs to try to bring the price down or adjusting the actual game mechanics how it is, because it's a common thing to look at, like 10 Solana floor for a common sneaker. This is the one pair of sneakers that you would need to get started in the game. It is a big barrier to people. So, I mean, we're going to touch on that just about every single week at an AMA, but being a different format, I just thought it was worthwhile raising, like 10 Solana, and we're seeing a lot of projects launching at, for example, 4 or 5 Solana and struggling to do those launches. So what are your kind of thoughts on that, Yawn? Like, how can we do that in a couple of minutes and just talk about the price entry and the
Sure.
barrier of entry?
Sure, sure. So you have to remember that the whole sneaker we are giving for free, selling at 0.9 Solana or 1 Solana about 3 months ago. So and at the real right beginning, the GSU was listed at like 10 cents, and then it went to like $1 and hovering around $1 for a very long time, then shooting for $1.7 and then 2.6, and somewhere now $3. So again, the market have to find the equilibrium of the sneaker prices and the token prices. And if you see people are speculating on the token prices, that's very soon you will see that the NFT sneaker prices has been reflected or affected. So that's one thing is a price are set by the market, not set by us. We give the market a really low expectation, and the market soon find the right equilibriums of the price. And we don't feel that intervention on the pricing will make anything good. Rather, it will actually sort of destroy the natural flow of the capital and also the people. And going back on the question of high entry prices and entry barriers, I think the implication is twofold. One is not everybody can afford like Bored Apes or CryptoPunks, for example, and nobody complains about it. And then people say, "Oh my God, $10 sneakers," and they buy their PFPs for like one Ethereum or a couple Ethereums. And we talk about sneaker is a functional NFTs with actually the use cases that people can earn tokens with it. And so in that sense, it's not a very bad sort of investment compared to, for example, some of the PFPs. Although the PFP, of course, you can have the social value associated with it, but you can't, and you can speculate on the prices. And being a high price NFTs, I think that is also a protective layer for the in-app token economy. And typically, for example, is that if you have a low entry prices that everybody can afford, you will have a sort of a percentage of people that solely will buy the NFT just to mine tokens and sell it, basically just to milk the whole ecosystem. And when you have a lot of them, then you're starting to see the balance has been sort of weakened or broken. You will have more people exiting the values, extracting the values from the economy in the form of a stablecoin, and then you see the price going down. It's called the death spiral, right? So when the price goes down, people have an expectation of price going down, and more people are joining the bandwagon of selling the tokens. So having a high price and also ensure that people that can afford not selling the token to use the app will actually make the whole token economy more robust. So I think that's another reason that we want to see a reasonable price set for the NFT sneakers. So so that's sort of the second thought almost on the token prices and also the sneaker prices.
But I do like how you've said it. The first series of sneakers were donated, and they're still being donated. We're still doing them live. There's events. You're giving away 20 plus sneakers a week to the community, so you're drawing in more. Plus, a lot of GST is going out to help people build towards getting their first pair. And it's the community. It's a decentralized market that is actually determining the price of these sneakers. On the last the last adjustment for the last major patch, you adjusted and lowered the cost to mint common sneakers, as well as did a double minting possibility, and the price still went up. So it's just people gobbling up those sneakers, isn't it? Really?
Yes. So we've done this from two directions. One direction is we want to increase the speed of the sneakers being produced, so that the NFTs marketplace have enough sneakers that people can buy at floor prices. And on the other side, we actually impose the activation system that slow down the inflow of the users. So we're trying to have this sort of a meet in the middle sort of moment, is that if the demand is too much, and and also the market going to take time to adjust itself. It's not like that we're going to inject like 5,000 sneakers on the market and then all of a sudden this problem is solved. The economy have to grow at its own pace. If we inject 5,000 sneakers from nowhere, and then you will start to see that prices getting a little bit inflated. A lot of things are going to change, so you don't know what's going to happen. So we can only say, all right, let's just give people slightly more sneakers, and we will just slightly control the inflow of the users, so that the demand and supply side can gradually meet in the middle. And if you want to fast this sort of a pace, normally it doesn't go in the right direction. So, yes, on one side we see that when we design this whole mechanic, we see that there's gonna be more people need the sneakers, and the current rate of reproduction, it's never gonna meet that demand. So we start the double sort of the twins, and also lowering the cost. I think a month before.
It's about
the Binance Launchpad. And then right before the Binance Launchpad, we impose the activation code system, so that so we want to have some level of optimization or controls, but not directly interventions on the token prices and also the tokens. Also NFTs.
I've got a couple of crowd questions here in Discord, and people are chattering away in YouTube, which is awesome to see. The first one here from Tarek, looking at how big STEPN has grown and looking at other projects on Solana, are there going to be any future partnerships? We saw last month several Twitter spaces with different projects that were on Solana. Are some of those going to come to fruition, or is it just Team STEPN is looking at building for Team STEPN and the Binance launch?
With the we're part of the DeFi Alliance cohort, and one thing that I think I heard about the guest speakers talk about the partnerships is that they're going to be really careful about partnerships, and with crypto partnerships, many of them just end with announcement. So we don't want that, and so again, we haven't done really much of actual partnership with other projects, mainly because that the whole team got sort of busy, and we're still trying to explore like how can we do the partnerships, and so we don't do it lightly. And we are actually working with a couple project at the moment with a special sneakers. So they design like a special sneakers with their brand, with their logos, with their sort of graphics, and then we trying to work out a sort of a distribution plan. So their sneaker maybe just like a 10 or 20, like special editions, and we haven't decided should we do auction, should we do a giveaway, and so once we get ideas of how we're going to do it, then we're starting to have some like special branded project sneakers in the app.
Yeah, it's we've seen a little energy tab, a little bar on the end of the sneakers this week. People have been asking.
Yeah.
Is that an Easter egg?
So it is a brand. I mean, you see the STEPN, you see that little lightning bolt on the sneakers. So that's our branding. That's our logo. So and we put the logo there for the second batch of the sneaker looks. For the first generation look, it doesn't have the sneaker brand, and then the second generation all the newly minted sneakers, you see that little tag. That's just our brand.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull it up on my phone. It's the only spot I've got it ready. So that's just more of a personal branding then from STEPN. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's the STEPN branding sneakers, because ultimately you will have like a
Shit.
hello.
Yeah, sorry, I disconnected myself with my phone trying to
Sure,
share
sure.
that picture. We were just going. You were saying ultimately.
Yeah, we will have like different branding, either from a sneaker brand or from a project, other project brand. So they will have their brand logos on their sneaker, and then the lightning bolt is just our brand to distinguish between different sort of sneaker brand down the track.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are waiting for. They're waiting for that big name partner, that original kind of, everyone's. I don't want to pop the names out, but we all know multiple sneaker brands, and they're going to be massive no matter which one you take. So everyone's waiting for that. But then, of course, NFT sneakers across both Binance and Solana have been pretty huge, and we've seen things like NFT socks. So there's just a world of possibilities there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, people come out with, people are making NFTs out of almost everything. So it's not unsurprising that you see like NFT socks and, NFT sneakers and yeah.
Very cool. So we've got the Trailblazers over the next 48 hours, I believe it is. It might be a little
Yeah.
bit longer with across the world, but
Uh,
that's a massive announcement, which really surprised me at the level. So 45 million tokens over 5,000 wallets. It's pretty big support for the, not support, pretty big reward for the early supporters.
yes. We took us a bit of time to come up with the right sort of numbers of how much we going to reward people. We took references from like the what is it called? The Ethereum's the domain server EDS, and also we took references from the sushi airdrop, all the DeFi airdrops, Uni, for example. So we did a cross reference. They say, okay, what is the put benchmark in the industry of how much we're gonna airdrop to people, and then we're looking at our Trailblazer list and say, oh my god, that's a lot of people. And then so, okay, hold on a second, we can't do that much. We have to tune down, but how much tune down? So we go back and forth a little bit, and then we'll work out how much we're going to provide. And that's roughly about 10% of the current circulation supply, almost. And we're going to distribute that to our user in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, 0.75 of total circulating GMT.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 0.7.
It's massive. So that comes to us on a SPL token, sits in our wallets in the game. So people can't obviously trade or use that in the game. And I mean, I'm going to go and test to see whether I can use my GMT straight away. Anyone in the game is going to test it. But can people send that elsewhere from their wallets, or is it locked into your wallet?
Yeah, you can send it to any SPL wallet. But if you send it to Binance, you can withdraw it.
And then a big one, because we are approaching our half hour. The big one we're talking about, the FOMO event, is that going to be first online marathon offering? So this was something you launched and talked about in November, back in those early days of STEPN. And
yes.
this, is it going to be like an April event? Is that the consideration for the team? Should we be watching? Is it a good thing to consider and throw an option out for people that are borderline thinking of getting into the game? Will that give them a chance to participate?
Okay, so definitely not going to be in the April, because we come up with a name with offering, but then we realize that if you do an offering, then you're sort of doing IDO, and you have to take people's money or tokens, so that doesn't make sense from a legal perspective. So we just do like another airdrop. So although we call it FOMO, it will still be an airdrop event, just like the Trailblazers. So we don't want to have have much. You have just down like 0.75% of airdrop and then do another one. next month. So it doesn't really being a sort of from a sort of token circulation perspective, it's not really that healthy. So we're definitely going to postpone that maybe to Q2. So we probably want to do like one airdrop event every quarter. So this is Q1. Yeah, this is Q1, and then we're going to do the next one in Q2, maybe the end of the Q2, and then we'll do the next one in Q3. So we come up with something new. So either the formal will be in end of Q2 or Q3. So and then we come back with like a monthly double energy earnings, or like we do have a new activities. So we are actually plotting a few new activity sort of event in April, different from what we have done in the past. Basically just giving people some more tokens and make some fun event together. So that's going to be in April. So in March it will be like a housekeeping works, finish the Trailblazer, getting a few tokens out of the system, and then in April we're starting to kick off the new campaigns.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, give people a few more tokens. So the intention is to either reward people that are actively using the game, but the hope for the team would be to mint more sneakers, get more people, maybe potentially lower the overall cost, but get more people into the game.
Yeah, so we, that's the thing. We can only facilitate the process. We cannot intervene in the process. I think that's sort of important thing.
Very cool. Well, that's our half hour, Yawn. It goes so much quicker than an AMA. There's plenty that we wouldn't have touched on. I did have a question here in live stage about renting. Renting's probably going to be Q2 at the earliest, but would be more likely Q3. Is that right?
Yeah, so we are looking at different options with renting, because we have touched on this like a couple times before, is that we want the renter actually contributing positively to the ecosystem. So there might be a whitelist sort of system that you have to pass a whitelist, then you can rent sneakers, and also we are installing a few other mechanics. So that ensure that the renter will not sell their token immediately after they finish their sessions. So that's a few designs we are working on at the moment, and but we're gonna need to test if that makes sense, right? So
it does make sense. We noticed
yes.
We noticed this week. Actually, it was last week on our Thursday. You did a AMA with MeanFi. Is that potential chance to have an option there to stream out the coins? MeanFi is used as like a ledger sort of payment tool for a working class. It could be salary. So was that a potential hint there for the community, Easter egg?
The streaming, that's actually a new concept to us, and we never thought about
because
anything similar.
Right? Yeah, I mean, we earn, I earn 30,000 Grape coins, for example, as what I do at Grape, and I get 1,000 coins per day streamed via MeanFi. So is that a potential? I thought that might have been where it might have hidden from last week, because I didn't actually make that AMA.
Yeah, so that's actually, I only starting to know about the sort of the streaming sort of services they offer. So we haven't. So we need to do more studies on this type of mechanics, see if there would be a fit within the ecosystems. Just like we, so as the ecosystem become sort of evolving itself, and anything new we introduce to the app, well, one, increasing complexities, which we don't want to see, and two, that might affect. It's like the butterfly effect, right? So if something that even a minor change can cause some big, unforeseeable sort of consequences. So for now, when we're installing any new features, we are actually very careful of how that will affect the existing systems. So not saying that we cannot do the streaming, but we say, we're gonna need to do more studies, just like we decided not to roll out the rental as planned, because we're realizing that adding a rental system, you are actually adding a whole new layer of players. That player traditionally been barred from entering the game because of the floor prices, and now they're able to use the app. what kind of implication to the community and also to the token ecosystem. We have to be really careful, and this will be the same case for the streamings. And will that fast pace the whole game lifespan? And will that offer real use cases for user? And can they burn tokens to access that services? So that's all the questions that we have to answer before we even consider to implement this type of services.
Well, Yawn, I very much appreciate you coming on. I mean, obviously we do one every week at STEPN, so it's worthwhile mentioning to people here. On my YouTube, you can always double check. There's every AMA from back in November with the team bar one. I think we lost audio on one of the nights. My streamer broke down. So, yeah, it's definitely worth noticing. You know, the information is there. We did have questions from both stages, and... Sorry, Kendall in YouTube, you are one of our regulars asking questions. So last week there was an AMA with Grape, MeanFi, and STEPN. That was on our Thursday. So did that get streamed and uploaded? I'm not 100% sure. Jason, Yawn, maybe you can answer that. Just if people want to go back for it. I'm not actually sure that I saw it myself.
Me neither. Jason, do you know that?
Sorry. Sorry. What did you mention?
I can double check. It may be on the Grape Protocol YouTube would be the first place I'd have a look, just for the one that was last week. But yeah, amazing month. Overall, it's you have kept the community excited, engaged. I know firsthand because I get the questions on stage, and I do 8 to 10 kilometers in the morning and then 3 kilometers in the afternoon. So I get to talk to people live and see the excitements there. And we are all waiting and curious as to the new events and all those kinds of things. But very much appreciate you coming on, Yawn. Jason, thank you for your help as well. And I'll see you guys in the local STEPN.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, where are we here? Our next guest we are going to have this morning is Eborall from Team Shade. Shade. Let me bring him across on screen. And I think Eborall is going to have a little bit of screen share for us this morning, so you're going to get to see a bit more than the old dog screen. But Eborall, good morning, and we'll do a mic check. How you going, dude?
Yo. Good morning, good evening from the UK.
Yeah, what time is it for you, my friend?
1 a.m. Just gone.
Yeah, what I like about this time zone is we're starting to build out the show. And it's not as nasty for you as it is for an American on a Saturday night. So, like the Saturday night shows, we've just seen that they've been 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So having 3 guests come here, at least for the Europeans, it's not as bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think a lot of the European NFT enthusiasts are up at midnight anyway. So
Yeah.
I think you can pretty much hit all time zones showing your content around this kind of time.
So, dude, we had you here on a Saturday night. You had the Rona back then.
I had much Rona, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
But it was good. You still came on show. You still made it, and you've had a mint. Let's talk about the mint. Or actually, let's do the. It's funny having these shows coming around and around. I also don't want to spend 10, 15 minutes doing the basics, but because we had you pre-launch here at Solana Gaming Saturdays. Your launch is something I want to definitely get into and talk about, but give us a quick couple of minutes on what Shade is.
Yeah, so we are a Solana-based NFT project. Our initial goal, so right now, is to develop our racing game that we have a demo, and we'll be showing more of that soon for. We'll be developing that game, building our community, sort of, creating with our alpha collection. So, as you may have known before, we originally wanted to mint 4,000 tokens. However, market and marketing weren't really in the right zone for us. So we reduced it to 777 and made it like an alpha collection. So everyone that's bought now will be real core members of our community and have the ability to try early game demos as soon as I test them myself, get in multiplayer tests, hang out with the team, vote on where we take the project. So this will be the real core sort of NFT holders, and yeah, as we develop more and grow collections, we will be sort of dropping those collections to these 777 holders as well. So they'll really benefit from our growth and really be able to engage with us like daily. I will say, like, for the couple of the guys that have pulled up with me now, or the Shade guys you'll see in the chat with us, they're all come over because we were hanging out in the Discord together, sort of talking about the game, talking about what we're up to, talking about our interests in the space, like trying to really build together. And I hope everyone enjoys that kind of vibe, because that's sort of what I wanted to do all along with the project.
Yeah, so you've done a bit of streaming and stuff yourself, haven't you? You've been a streamer before with Twitch and stuff like that, so you're kind of used to being in the gaming side of it. You're a gamer building out something that you want to play yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love gaming. Really enjoyed streaming. Found it's actually a lot of hard work. So, like, huge props to anyone that perseveres and keeps producing content, because it's actually quite tricky to stay consistently in a good mood, happy to interact with audience and fans and stuff. It isn't the simplest thing whatsoever. But it is rewarding when you have like great game days or play tournaments or hang out with the community and stuff. So yeah, I did really enjoy it. I just found it quite tough to do it and work on other jobs too. But we'll never sort of get away from my gaming days. Like, no matter what I get into, no matter what job I have, like, gaming will always be huge for me. So that's sort of where the Shade development came to, like, scratch that itch and still stay in the NFT space.
So, I mean, let's wrap around a little bit onto the NFT launch. And you found the market was a bit tough, and I mean, there is definitely a NFT fatigue. It's been set in for a little while, I think, but still 777 is a good start to bootstrap and continue towards your productions. It's not put you guys behind as much. Yes, obviously minting the 4,000 would have been better, but it's still a reasonable number. There's other projects that have minted 1 or 100 in the last month.
Yeah. I still think it's excellent. I still think we've got some great people that have minted in, and a lot of people have seen the product, interacted with us, and of us. So I think our community and the mint we went through was still good. I don't see it in a negative way at all. I think the fact that we have gone through that sort of mint, we're building on like strong foundations now. So like going up from here and improving is like, it's just going to be very easily done, because the people that are with us have input. They want to play the game. They like what we're doing. So yeah, I'm happy with the mint, and like as you said, we still sold plenty, so we still built up the funds that we needed to really give this project a kick in the right direction, because I don't have to keep funding the dev work from my own paycheck now, so I can actually like crack on with getting more involved and managing and stuff. So really excited about that.
Now, from one streamer to another that sits and looks at himself and the cameras and stuff like that, how weird is it looking at yourself in front of your computer desk? I've got the slide up.
So this on the day we minted out, on the day we hit secondary, this actually arrived in the post. This came from my boy who did the video Struds. He did the video editing for some of the Shade project, did some really cool work, and him and my other bro Ads actually ordered this as a gift, like, congratulations, yeah, the project's going great. Here's the artist artwork of you, and feel free to put it up on the wall. I love it, dude. It's
weird at times looking at yourself though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit odd to see something that looks like me on the wall, but it's distant enough from me that that I just see like the cool aspects, like the Shade vibes and the robotic hand and the swords and shit. Like it's very cool art. So
yeah, I like it. It was just a funny one I saw there, and I thought it's like, fuck, you're looking at your face every day. But
yeah.
I mean, do you think as well the artwork? I have to touch on it. Obviously, a lot of people weren't happy with the feminine aspect of the artwork, not being feminine enough, not having a big set of cartoon boobs. That's. I'm not rums deep. I'm not several rums deep on a Saturday night. We might go into it a bit more, but that's the nut of it. Like, people weren't happy with how they weren't sexed, over sexual kind of NFTs. Do you think that affected the mint as well?
No, I think honestly no. I think everyone that's still minted or has spoke to me about it at least. I know people always be nicer to me being the project founder and stuff, but they've always said positive stuff about the art style. They love it, and it not being like a lot of especially girls have said they like that some of them are cute. They like that some of them are strong looking. They like that they're not like sexualized women
Yep.
or they're not actually women technically either.
No,
They're
that's
like
right.
AIs, they're like robots.
They're
Yeah.
robots, aren't they? Or
Yeah.
UIs, AIs.
So yeah, they're not so they're not women, and we're trying like to just keep it open. But the next set that will be dropped to the Eve holders and will be sort of to expand our multiplayer base will have the more masculine look, the Adam collection in the future. So yeah, I love the art and hadn't really considered too much about it not being like too sexualized other than just me and the art. It's just like vibed and said, yeah, these people look cool. Like these are cool characters. Let's go with it.
Yeah, it's important. And I've heard negative reviews on them, so you know, like it's cool to keep shit open. I like it. I like the positivity. The fact you guys didn't throw the towel in at 200, 500. You kept going. You said, right, I will pivot. And some projects have had to pivot. So it's important to see. Let's talk future because we're 15 minutes in. We're actually probably only about 10 minutes in at the moment. But let's talk towards the future. We've got one question here from Porter in stage. Are there plans regarding tournaments in .shade in the close future? So multiplayer. Have you got some gameplay for us today?
Yeah. So we do, and Close is here with me to give me a hand with that. So I will fire up a screen share. Yep. Cool. I should be in. I think. Yeah, that's the one. So, what we currently have is the alpha version of our multiplayer. I'm hosting nights in the Shade Discord for holders to come and try it, a couple of times a week here and there while we're just vibing. And we are at a point now where we can play together. We can race. There are still plenty of issues to work through, as there always will be when implementing new systems, but we're in a point where it's not far away that we'll be able to host in-game tournaments. We'll be able to put new tracks in. We'll be able to like roll out the full client to everyone basically. But yeah, I'm very excited about that. So I'll fire it up, show you where we're at now.
Now, the first beta was available for the public to download. It's worthwhile mentioning while we see this here. I want people to be careful when they're downloading games from anybody, regardless if you see Barndog playing it or if you see right now Eborall playing it. You should always question, are you going to be happy putting a .exe anything onto your computer that you use as a main crypto computer? Consider your options. Think about, can you have a gaming system? Especially don't grab those files from a random third-party source is the most important. Just random links don't ever click on. Teams aren't going to whisper you with, click on this link to play our game, click on this link to get extra tokens, airdrops, etc. So be real careful. And I want to make that sure. This is crypto. Your computers are fucking important information machines. And if they get access to your crypto, you're not going to be happy. So, sorry, Eborall.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. I say the same thing as well. And a few of our members have also waited to see the results of other people playing the demo before they've hopped in. I completely respect that. No pressure to anyone that's involved in our community or project, or team. You don't have to touch anything you don't want to. And to sort of counter that, we're in discussions with people to work out a nice, moderated, third party, very trustworthy third party intervened way to roll out the clients and the different demos and downloads and stuff.
I was looking, I've just loaded it up. Sugar,
Yeah.
and I'm not here to stream another thing, but Sugar's playing it on, what do you call that system there? The WebGL. So you can actually play their game you can download the EXE or you can play it in WebGL, and it was very playable in both.
Yeah. So it really depends what you're building on. In Unreal, they've discontinued the application and support to export to web. So for us, on Unreal and the size of project we're building, HTML doesn't seem like the best method for us. But like I said, there's some things happening in Solana in the near future, and we're part of the discussion of how we're going to get these clients out to people safely, securely, and make sure the files are like moderated and looked into. So yeah, we're in those discussions, and we definitely will be rolling out in the safest safest manner to the.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you guys are effectively you're groundbreaking at the moment. Like, and this is not trying to over praise, but you are coming through these basic things where people have to both trust you, and then have a way of backing up their funds. I mean, people out there, make sure you've got good antivirus software. Don't just have fucking something that's free. Have a look at what's good. What's going to protect your computers and stuff like that. So you can have these options. If you are a serious gamer and you're into crypto, then you're going to need to find a workable solution. And spending $2,000 to $3,000 on another computer may not be an option for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, again, just always look after yourself, your data, your computer. Just make sure it's like use password management, protection, like one stuff, like everything like that is 100% essential these days. So a good thing to listen to Band on. But yeah, so at the minute with our client, we've expanded from just the solo mode. Please, by the way, excuse the ugly UI. We're just building as quick as we can and then beautifying it a little bit later, giving it that shade look a little bit further down the line. But yeah, so if we go into multiplayer, as you can see now, we can like host sessions. So if I make 7777 and host that up, you'll see a list of players that are joined. So if you're here close and you're available, bro, hop in.
Yeah, when is that? Is that this weekend? Is it? Did you say?
So we're testing it like all the time. So if anyone hops in, like say we have a group of people just hanging out in the alpha chat, and they're like, "Yeah, you know, we could run some practice games." You know, we'll be doing that on evenings because it gives me more chance to test for issues and bugs and glitches.
I'm 100% going to start pivoting our Saturday nights. Instead of doing an hour and a half show and talking about games and interviewing stuff, we're going to spend an hour playing games. I know.
Yeah.
The 26th, I'm keen as fuck. So that gives you plenty of time to polish it up for me. Hey, we'll get it in there. We want to do more Web 3.0 at Grape and not just be talking about it, being those talking heads. I mean, actively getting in there. Porter, we've got him in stage, is talking about doing 1 to 2 hours a night. So fuck yeah, I'm keen to help.
Yeah, Porter's a beast. I would, definitely like to see him on some content and vibing with us. That'd be dope.
Sorry to interrupt real quick. Hey, Eborall, I need you to send me the updated client. I have the multiplayer without the blurred password.
Okay.
It's giving me conflicts to log in.
Okay, I got you. Well, that's a good thing that we're testing. Bear with me. Google Drive. So yeah, I will send you that link. So I'll just explain a bit while I'm sending close this link of what we're up to. So the client basically creates a room on our server. Members can join. The first issue we immediately found is that whoever is the host, right now it says Eborall on my Eborall account, whoever is the host, their name becomes the name of everyone in the lobby. Very unusual glitch that we've run into, but it's the first one we've actually worked through in the newer version, but this client that we're rolling out hasn't quite got it yet. Here, I'm grabbing the link for you now, bro. It's in your DMs, dude. So yeah, that's what happens, and then you start it up. I'll just do a quick test and I'll restart it. Close while you download. You run the game, connects with the server. I think, yeah, you can even start it on your own. Gives you a countdown of 15, shows you like who's in the room. If no one's in the room, it puts a bot in there, just as you'd seen before. Music and stuff still here. And then, yeah, when the 15-second has countdown, you will load in as you'd sort of seen in the single player demo, and you'll be able to race and chill against each other in real time on multiplayer. We kept the little track glitches like this that we used in our recent tournament.
Mario Kart shortcuts. Look at you go. Yeah, I've not seen that one before.
There's a few of them. This is the weirdest one, mate. Look at this. You have to fly through the
Oh
Throw
yeah, yeah,
somebody
yeah.
off
So
the
if you hit the roof, does that do you fall off the roof or
yeah,
something? Yep.
and then I'm hoping to be able to show you the best one because we ran a tournament the other week
Yep, yep.
and
I
we
saw
did a
that.
vote. Yeah, and we did a vote. Should we leave glitches in the game or should we take them out for the tournament? And everyone voted leave it in.
Yeah,
And this
I
is the one
mean,
that Close found. Look, you fly over the mountain.
who hasn't done Cooper Trooper Beach? You know, like it's there. It's a shortcut.
Yeah.
Everybody can fucking do it. You know, if it's known, that's awesome. That's funny.
So yeah, I'll just jump out of the client 1 second. So yeah, we did that, and the winner is actually with us now, who's ready to test the game with us. Close. He smashed it and did a time that I am so far away from. It's ridiculous, and as a result, we gifted him a special 1 of 1.
Yeah,
that's NFT.
Do you want to talk on those? Because you're going to make those to order, aren't you? So people can
Yeah,
actually work with the team and they can have their own design possibly, or keep the one that they get.
Yeah, so as like a tournament sort of win, we're doing a treat of like tokens basically. There'll still be 1 of 1 tokens. They're pre-coded in the collection as like a 1 of 1, but we'll just change the metadata to like a piece of art that we will work with the winner of the token on, sort of thing. So they go into like our VIPs every so often. They'll go to the tournament winners possibly, you know, things like that, like people that really prove that they're part of the show community, and it'll have extra benefits like more access to skins in game and like gorgeous unique art, stuff like that. So the one close one,
I'm ready if you're ready to get a host going.
Yeah, I'll show your 1 of 1 on Moon Rank, and then
oh, spicy.
Got Moon Rank, 1 shade.
From a small point of view, did you see any spike in sales when the ranks went live on Magic Eden? Did that change at all? Like, did people try and scoop up a few low rank ones, high rank ones early?
Yeah, not massively, but there was a few people that jumped in sales. Basically, a lot of people knew that frames were rare due to like information shared in the Discord. Like I've been very open about, like, you know, the frame trait will be the sort of thing that, you know, gives your ship skins a different vibe. Your avatar will be like the avatar in game, and some of the other traits will be used in like future games and stuff. But for right now, frames are sort of the thing you're looking for, and like 777s, 21, 666s, 420s, 8s. These sort of cool ones are the most desired, so it kind of just followed on from there. But yeah, this, don't know why Moonrank at the minute doesn't want to load individual collection pieces, but yeah, this gorgeous one here is Mr. Close's one, based on the Akira movie.
Yeah.
From a long time ago. Yeah.
Did a series too, didn't it, Akira?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've only watched like the old 90s Neo Tokyo Akira movie.
Yeah, and you've got a competition or a drop at the moment potentially. I think if you own 5 NFTs, you're going to go in the draw for one of these 1-of-1s. Is that right?
Yeah, you can grab one of these 1-of-1 invitations, and then, like, say for example, you like the idea of, you know, some of these are made like a, you know, ethereal sort of ghost, like a powerful dark being, different themed things. So, you know, if you have ideas, we can discuss on it and we can sort of evolve that 1-of-1 into that, or you can just keep it as is and let someone else take the experience. Or
so what I like is, you mentioned it earlier too, is that you've been talking about rankings and rarities within your own Discord. So I like that. A lot of people are going to go, oh, but I didn't know about it, I couldn't potentially buy it. Fucking tough luck. If you wanted to learn these things, you can go into the Discord, you can be a part of their community, you can take up their game. So I do actually personally like hearing that. It's good hearing the devs are open to their community, and it gives those players, because these are going to be the bums in seats that they desperately want and want to take on the game. And if you've got your gamers beating you at your own game, fucking hats off to you, sir.
Yeah.
Who is that? Is that Struds? I didn't see who was talking.
Struds is the video editing genius. Close is I'd say our gaming genius right now. Yeah, he's been putting some hours into the.
I got like 30 on this one track.
Well done, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
And the challenge is there now. You're going to make him work harder to get better at his game. I love it.
Yeah. So Close is a lot better
Absolutely.
than me, and Adsman wasn't too far behind, and Zimian, I believe, was third, and their times were very tight. It was about a second and a half between the three of them. Like, it was tight. They're excellent already at this game, better than me. So yeah, I'll start a session now. I'll call this 777 set 5 sevens this time. Host it. There is slight delays with some of these bits, but again, things we're just working on. It will see me in there now, a second name in there. Unfortunately, it will be again my name, but when the second one's in, that means Close join my server, so we can start it up. Music is all still present and everything, which is very cool. We're gonna be implementing our playlists and looking at other sort of musicians within the community that we can work with and stuff. So if any musicians are interested and have the same sort of vibe as us, like, always feel free to DM or hop in the Discord. Close, don't zoom off the line. We'll just show each other like interacting and just like vibing. So yeah, you see we're both in there. Both have different ships with different skins at the minute. We can then like just race off. And we're both able to just control our own characters and do little jumps and glitches and shit. So yeah, very cool RE multiplayer where we're at, and I'm very excited to like just trying to keep going further with it. The next thing will be perfecting the experience, and then past that it will be like maybe, well, it's either will be a social zone where you can like, you see the sort of planetscape, maybe you can just like load onto a planetscape and you can go and hit some random jumps, like troll each other, test out different skins, stuff like that. Or we'll be just getting straight into more racetracks. So there's going to be a vote for that when we've finished tidying up our multiplayer.
Obviously, you're going to
like
be
connections
trying to
and
give
stuff.
people a chance to vote the build pattern of it, because obviously shit takes time to build out.
Yeah.
Is that like a DYOR function as well, or it's just if you've got to hold a shade to be an Eve, I should say, to be able to do that voting?
Yeah, so it's just in the Discord. It's not like quote unquote like a technical DAO thing. You don't use your token itself to make cast vote. You kind of have an area of the Discord where we're holding all the things like our downloads and our team voting and the ideas we want to move forward with, and our views on like other projects and what's going on. The typical sort of alpha area of a project. So we're kind of just operating in that, and then every so often when an event comes up or a thing that we think is a decision that our holders can help with, we either take it to like our VIPs in call, or if it's a big one, we'll go like full public with it, and everyone can vote as long as they have the alpha role in our Discord. So that's kind of how we're holding it at the minute. But using a full down mechanic and using the tokens to vote is quite exciting. So we are considering using that too for even bigger sort of things we might vote on later. Maybe like, what's the next game that we could play, or what should we develop, and what course or collaboration would you like to see? Things like that, I think, would be excellent to use a down mechanic.
Yeah, go over that a little bit, because we're down to our, we've done 20 minutes or so now. You guys aren't just planning on building out one game. You're planning on building out future games potentially as well, yeah?
Oh, I got stuck. Yes, I really want to build. The next thing I'm like desperate to build would be a shooter, honestly.
But are we not oversaturated on shooters? Like, when you say shooter, do you mean first-person shooter that's coming out? There's shitloads. That's the problem I see at the moment. Not a few.
But I really want like a crazy social one. I don't want like the typical, this is very sweaty and serious. Like, I kind of want it to be like a ridiculous shooter. Like, if you remember the Unreal tournaments and stuff back in the day, they were a bit more about like jumping all over the place and doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's funny because we've just seen so many coming on board. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
As for a first-person shooter, it seems to be one of the easiest to onboard at the moment into crypto, because there's not really a lot of blockchain action once you get into a game, is there?
Mm-hmm.
You're just playing the game. You own your NFT, you jump into the game and you shoot people. So that seems to be very popular and building out.
Yeah, we're also looking at some social gaming ones, and I am interested in like other like old school RPG combat styles, but haven't quite worked out what would be like the absolute best, the sort of Shade universe. Again, something that will likely be fully voted on by the members of the Discord.
So I did have a question from Porter. How many max players playing in the same match? I know we talked about this before. It's going to be 6 players. And you mentioned potentially 2v2v2. Is that still what you're looking at?
Yeah. So in these size maps, 6 players and a 2v2v2 mode as like a secondary mode that people can load into is something we're working on building first. In the bigger maps that I'd like to develop, I'm looking to like double it and go with like a big sort of 12-player sort of setup. But I just need to see if our current servers that we're using with AWS, the source people running this client, and how the ping feels.
There was another one from Libra. Is there a wrong way when you get turning the wrong way? I don't actually remember whether I think there was. It's just not easy to see though, is it?
Yeah, if you go, it actually doesn't tell you wrong way at the minute. We haven't implemented any like, turn around or flashing lights or anything like that at the minute. But what happens is, if you have turned the wrong way somehow and you are going like back on yourself, if you hit one of the checkpoints, they're in like very frequent intervals. The AI doing it now, you will be reset to the checkpoint you last sort of achieved, and it will be facing the right way. Or same if you fall off the map, like die in any random situation in the game. Yeah, it will be reset to a checkpoint with the right direction.
Porter, you are on stage. You plan on streaming this, my dude. Did you want to unmute and say anything to the team, ask a question? Is there any way we can help to make that happen? I'd love to have your input if you're keen to jump on stage. Anybody else in the Grape community that is currently in channel? I had to mute Mabel because you had push to talk turned off. There's no questions at the moment in YouTube.
Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to say that great work. Guys doing very well. I do stream, yes, and really cool you show these shortcuts. I didn't know. I think that just proves people how much they know actually about game. So yeah, like if you decide to leave that kind of things, I think it's cool. Nobody does. So do something what nobody does, I think it's best at the moment. So yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Very cool.
Yeah, really appreciate that, dude. Yeah, we actually have fully been in this game, like grinding it. Like Close said, he's been putting hours in. Like, he really wanted to win that one, and that sort of community, competitive fun. Lots of live call chats and games and stuff is kind of what we really want in the Discord. Yeah, I love it, and I see obviously you and the Big Bear in there playing League of Legends very often stuff too, and I really appreciate you guys
Yeah,
and
we will
inviting our community.
For dot shade. One small player,
No, bro.
right?
Honestly, keep playing League as well. Like we play some Apex too. We have a great game and a cool community, but I do think we need to we need to keep it fresh. We need to mix it up. And if there's other Solana games that have got great content and they want to collaborate on some game evenings and make who's the best racer versus who's the best golfer, for example, or something, we'd so be down. Like we'd love that.
Yeah,
I think having more than one game in a night is great. Games nights, are about a bit of diversity.
Yeah, you might play a game you don't enjoy as much one week, but you might play one you enjoy the following week. Like actually join in and start being part of a crew and a group that plays different games and explores and helps the ecosystem out. So that's awesome, man. I agree and completely concur, and that's what I'm trying to pivot my Saturday nights to. Because it has been a lot of work. We've done almost 6 months on Solana Gaming Saturdays and, booking stages, booking guests, getting the artwork done, chasing up with the guests. I'd rather smash out 1 or 2 games in an hour and just actively, and, it might be something from building out in DeFi land or jumping into fucking a VR headset and actually going and having a look at one of these metaverses that are building out. But playing games, this is the thing, we are I'm a gamer first and foremost. I'm a traditional gamer. I still play League. I've got a bronze 2 at the moment. I'm doing fucking well.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So
That's good.
you know, like there's traditional games, but at the moment, I reckon there's probably 10 to 15 playable games playable. A lot of those are first person shooters. So it's just us pulling our fingers out. We all talk about let's do this, and this, and this, and this. And time, isn't it? Time is the biggest killer. It's our most useful source.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I'll tie in with you a bit more, Eborall, and I'd love to make that happen. So even if we look at potentially the Saturday, the 26th, I haven't got a book stage yet, and I'm not going to be booking them. I don't want to be booking them too far in advance, but I've got 2 games on my hit radar at the moment to play. Shade is one of them, and well, not 2 games on my hit radar. Obviously, I played DeFi Land since the beginning, and that's not that in depth, right? But I want to spend some time building out my own farm, so to speak, and I want to build make some NFTs to grape my farm out and put a few sneakers in there from STEPN and all those kinds of things. But Eyes per Chain is a really big one, and yeah, we're going to have Mr. Rudy coming back to Grape. I don't know. Go and have a look at my video. It'll be on there for the previous Grape Gaming Day. We had him playing his game and doing a boss fight, and that's got multiplayer by the end of the month. I think think cool. Diablo. Just think of Diablo. That's going to be the style of game. You're going to constantly go through regrind dungeons, getting loot and shit, and coming out. So we're going to build a team around that as well. But I'd love to have more and more teams here, and you and I have personally spoken about that. So I appreciate you coming on, dude. I appreciate you being frank and honest.
Bro. I appreciate you giving us some time. Like, I really have enjoyed hanging with you guys. Thank you very much.
What can we expect in the next month from Eborall and Team Shade?
Next month we will have I can't guarantee it'll be done, but it's looking like we will have multiplayer finished. We'll start the public rollout of being able to access the game with your NFT in a safe method. I can't talk too much about it because it's not announced yet with people involved, but it's definitely in the works. But yeah, that will be the first thing, and when that sort of releases, we should have a few extra maps. Like now the mint's gone through and we're all in motion. It's given me a lot more time to actually get back in and start working in the engine again. And I'm going to be firstly making maps. I'm super excited about some cool different maps, different visuals you can take the game into, different soundtracks, cool jumps and maybe other NFTs and so yeah, I'm real keen on that, extremely. So those will be the first things we see, multiplayer and stuff. But we did put a little roadmap out of our priorities in the Discord. So if anyone is interested, and we welcome anyone in and love to play the game with people. So we're on Magic Eden. Just feel free to look us up and hop on in if you want. If you want to come by.
Yeah, it's a good little metric to have a look at, and I don't want to say it and be shit on at the same time. I'll put it on screen. I like to, when I'm looking and reviewing games going forward, you can actually go and click on their activity. The reason I'm saying this live is because I did have a look the other day, and they were moving. Maybe not 15 in an hour or anything like that, but you can see the activity in a game, and whether there's good sentiment if the NFTs are moving slowly. It doesn't matter whether they're under floor. A lot of games mint out and people are just after that special rarity to flip them. But let's have a look now. Magic Eden. Yeah, that's good. I like it. So, that's not huge, but 770 NFTs, 777, and there's movement. So it shows you that people aren't dumping. People aren't looking for ridiculous prices. You can go and find an NFT that they are very, very diverse. And there's people coming into the community now, a lot of people want free shit. It's not really the best part of crypto, but how can they join up to be a good member, a good social member of Shade?
Honestly, if we have people that come in the Discord and just want to vibe with us, be encouraged to try the game and stuff, even if they aren't yet able to buy themselves into the project at the price we're at and stuff, if we see that they're very active, we have pretty generous people in the community that have given away, NFTs to get people in and stuff. And and you know, our moderators get them and things like that. Like, we are happy to you know, really involve people that want to be involved. So yeah, absolutely. Like, that's always a potential if people aren't buying. But yeah, grinding our game is like the #1 right now. So you'll just catch us in there a lot, just trying to build, trying to chill with people, and having a good time.
I like it, and I've got my 2. I minted 2. I think we got 2 on the whitelist, and I know it wasn't a mint out, so it's really funny. I like getting some whitelist, but I don't go hardcore now. How many games can you play? This is the stage I'm at. I've got so many NFTs, and I get an attachment to a team, and I want to play that game. So the young fella and I, my 10-year-old, and I actually played the first demo, and he's very keen to see the updates and see the multiplayer. So that's why I bought 2 in the end, with 1 for me, 1 for him. So yeah, it's cool to have you back on stage, man. And I don't know that our next guest is here. No response. He's meant to be coming in. Yeah. What else can you tell us? What are the games in Solana at the moment are you actually playing or excited about? Is there any other games? Or if it has to be another blockchain, pick another blockchain. What other crypto game you looking up to as a good example?
So I have been like staying in touch a lot with like the Remnants guys. I know it's a very sort of simple, go farming, go do this, you know, send your little guy on a mission, you know, once a night, but it's got that low E energy for me to just casually, hey, just send my little guy on a mission, excited to see what he's pulled back and stuff like that. Like, it's very simple, but I'm enjoying doing since I met those guys. And I know Portals is more of a metaverse project and stuff, but hearing their recent announcements of like we're getting ready to introduce like renting, and you know, that's something we're quite excited about, and we're bringing more projects in our downtown area. You know, the increase of the social space, the new rooms we're building, like everything Portals is working on at the rate they're going is like inspiring for us. It's honestly like it's a quick pace. In maybe not in crypto, everyone wants everything instantly, but in the real life world, like games and stuff won't move in this fast. You know what I mean? Like the most you'll get is like a slight map change and a seasonal battle pass of some skins or something. Like, you know, seeing this development in live and progress, and knowing that it interacts with NFTs and stuff is just very exciting, very inspiring. So Portals is a great one for us. Ghost Guys as well. Metforge.
Yeah, he stood me up.
On the...
He's
a real busy guy, and I think he's just flown to New York.
He stood me up last week. He's the first person ever to stand me up. Solana Gaming Saturdays. I had him booked in, and I'm like, my 10-year-old stayed up late because that was 9:30 his bedtime. So you know, he goes to bed around 9, but 9:30 we had the person come on stage, and he was there. He was my subject matter expert for Minecraft, and he was fucking keen. Seriously keen. And Matt thought that it was 11 o'clock at night, 11 p.m., not 11 a.m. UTC.
Yeah. He's got a lot going on, so it's probably easy to make little slips like that. But
I do like it though. I agree with what you're saying with Remnants. I've just got mine on the screen now. Have you got any shit we can swap?
All I've got so far is I got 1 broken walkie-talkie and about 200 coins. I just don't get any good pulls whenever I go.
It's about it's funny. They're actually selling a lot of these items are selling for 1, 2, 3 Solana within their community. They've got someone that does an escrow service for them. Yeah, it needs that marketplace, cool. But the team is working hard, and we will get them back on a Grape Gaming Day at some stage. I've just got, you can see a shitload of binoculars, but that's every 5-6 hours you do a loop, and it is a click to win at the moment. But I think that's going to be a big game for Solana. They're building out. They've got 5 full-time plus a whole heap of other people. We've had not Studwad. We had Juice. Had Juice come on stage on a Saturday night. He was awesome. And Portals agreed. Portals I still think's the premier metaverse building out on fucking Solana, and that was down to like 45 Solana last week, and it's back up to 65 this week. So there's fucking huge movement.
I picked one up. I picked one up at 48 the other week.
I was watching it. I
Just
said as
doing
much
so
on
much.
those. Yeah, I was definitely watching. If it dropped into the 30s, I would have been back on it like a fat kid on a cupcake. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, that would have been an instant play. Like it's just they're a lock on everything they're doing, on the team, on the places they've been, the products they're showcasing, the rate they're moving. It's like a lock on being one of the best on Solana.
And you see how they did
in my opinion.
the Riptide, the partnership with them during the Riptide hackathon.
No, I actually didn't see this.
So they were one of the
Okay.
panel guests and did a donation, a prize, and part of it was based around doing a partnership with portals, doing something with which you could put into the portals. Very important strategy behind that.
Mm.
But they are a good team. They've got a lot of support from not just Solana, other things. You know, Binance has got a room and all those kinds of stuff. I got two. I'm into two. I sold my last one at 75 thereabouts, and I've been looking for a buy back in, but I'm minting too many sneakers, so I need to.
Yeah. I might actually have to hit you up to hear more about the sneakers. I joined in halfway through, and I was like, wow, the floor's strong. The project looks cool. The team's knowledgeable. I'm actually interested in learning more.
I
sometime.
love them. It looks like Zoe might be a bit of a stand up. So, it's a 10 Solana floor for a common pair of sneakers. So look at that. That's $800 entry, but you'll get between 6 and 10 GST a day. The coin's sitting at about $3.40 at the moment. So you can do the math on that. It's a game that is there and playable, and you earn, and it's 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, obviously, I do a lot of work with them, but what it's actually bringing to the table, I think it's being missed on Solana because it's not. It's got its own. You know, I mentioned it to Yawn this morning. It's its own marketplace, so you're not getting people reading and aggregating like they would on Magic Eden, Solana, or Fractals. So you're not seeing a lot of the movement of the marketplace.
Yeah. That's true.
And
I am quite interested.
We shit on other projects that launch for 2 to 4 Solana, right? Oh no, that's too expensive. 4 Solana crypto straps, 4 Solana. Yet I'm banging on about how good STEPN is, and it's a 10 Solana entry. So
Yeah.
it's very relative. I think if you've got projects, and I've still got remnants on my screen. I just had a quick look there. There's one at 15.5 Solana. I've got a higher risk factor than other people. I wanted a second buy-in. I'm still minting. I need to mint 5 more sneakers this week for the strategy I'm playing. So once I've minted my 5, I'll de-risk a little bit and pull back some Solana so I can buy back into other projects. But remnants, we saw DeGods buy 3 remnants last week and 3 camps. So for their DAO. So it's definitely a team that's respected through the Solana community.
Yeah, they are. They're very respected, and we met them in a Spaces recently on Twitter and had a great chat with them. They're cool people, very nice, really hardworking, and same thing, taking votes in their Discord on the best course of action regarding, like, for example, the female character they're looking to bring into the equation. As an NFT, and everything's going down to a vote. They laid out like 3 or 4 planned options with strong pros and cons for both, and it's going to a full vote. So yeah, it's really cool. Projects actually work as a community.
To give people more context on that, so it's talking about whether the females are going to be 4,000 females, so they need more players. And when they came here, we said, 4,000 people. The game 3,700 are actively played at the moment, 3,700 out of 4,000. So that's an amazing number, but it's 15 to 18 Solana to get into the game. It's a very high floor. So they're talking now and voting on whether the female characters are 100% airdropped to original owners, or whether they're going to be 75% airdropped, or whitelisted, or whether they're going to do 50% or get in new people, all those kinds of things. So it's all well and good saying, we're going to bring out 4,000 new mints, and then you give them all to existing members, and then the existing owners then go and put them out at ridiculous prices. So, then you're not really getting in 4,000 new fresh faces. So it'll be interesting to see that vote coming out. I think you need 10,000 plus players in a game to make it potentially grow. But in saying that, these guys have been nuts. The mint price was super fucking cheap in December and January. And they've got 3,700 out at the moment. So when you think about it, you're staking your remnant in the game like you would in, say, for example, Star Atlas and their score 0. You're staking it and you're getting a daily reward of camp coins and potentially items.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got a lot more items than me.
Yeah, I need the bolt cutters.
In the game quite as long. Yeah.
You desperately need bolt cutters. I can show the link for that. The bolt cutters is what
to get
changes
into the military
game.
base, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So bolt cutters will give you access to the military base, but getting into the military base allows you to get the backpack, to get the ID card, and the hazmat suit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. I mean, I'm just grinding prison every time I send him on a trip.
yeah, and that was the cool part about it. So I've got enough shit now to be able to mint out the walkie-talkie to the 3rd level, because the coins aren't tracking properly in game for whatever reason. But I've got enough to be able to put that, and that reduces the trip time by like 16. You can make quicker times through the day, and because I'm always in the office, I can do it. But yeah, I think that's going to be us, man. I think we chewed the fat. You got any closing thoughts or anything? Then it looks like Zoe is not going to be here unless we've got someone from Team Chain Myth in the stage I'm not aware of.
Closing thoughts.
So yeah, I'll go to you. I'll give you a little bit, Eborall. Like I said, I'm really keen to get genuine devs back. I want to build out the space at Grape and do more. We all know that. I talk about that a lot. And fuck yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the multiplayer. So any closing thoughts? You know, it's been a hard, tough grind, but it looks positive from your side.
Yeah, we're real positive. Really excited about the future. And we have a great community. So happy to welcome anyone that's, you know, looking to get into other gaming projects. You know, whether you buy in or whether you just want to hang out in our community. We are Shade. You'll see us on Magic Eden and on Twitter and stuff. So yeah, just feel free to hit us up. Any ideas, anything, you know, we're very chill, very open community, still in our early stages. So it's a great time to sort of interact with us if anyone's looking to work or collab or, you know, meet us basically. So thanks for the time, and thanks to Grape and everything for having us on all the time and treating us so nice. So appreciate that a lot.
No, all good, dude. I love it. And how hard is it to make an NFT? What would a newbie like me do? I know Grape's got a Metaplex, but I've got wallet access to that, but it's not simple to use. If I want to create an NFT for games, so with your suggestion there for collaborations, right? I want to grape out my farm. I've got it on screen at the moment. And this is relevant for things like portals, because building the portals rooms, you could actually use a photo. You didn't have to have an NFT, but for DeFi land, you can't do that. You've got to have an NFT.
Yeah. If you just want to put an image on a oh my god, my headset's dying. Sorry. If you just want to put an image on a simple NFT and mint out, you know, one with a photo attached, it's not that bad. Honestly, a YouTube tutorial could probably get you through the process in 20 minutes to an hour, honestly. But if you're looking to randomly generate a full, you know, collection and have them mint through a candy machine and stuff, it's a much bigger task. But yeah, you can make your own tokens and self-mint NFTs. There's even sites like Famous Foxes. You can just mint a small self-made NFT on Famous Foxes thing, with the Foxy setup, using like 50 Foxy tokens or something. And you can also do it on one of the marketplaces. They have like a creators marketplace, because I made one with an audio track.
Famous. I'm trying to think of Famous Foxes now. I think this is where I've put up the Solana.
FFSC,
yeah.
Famous Fox Social Club. So they do a self-minting thing as part of what their dev has created for them, and I got a feeling it's not Alpha Art, it's someone, and they basically have a self-minting thing on there, where they used to. I remember that a while ago. So that's the simplest way if you want to just dash through it. But you can do it, you know, completely yourself as well via a YouTube tutorial. So you probably don't even need to spend the Foxy token.
I'll go and have a look then. Yeah, I've looked at it before, but then I kind of got the Metaplex, and I just want to start advertising even some other games and stuff. Like you can see here, I play DeFi Land a bit too much for what's actually in the game. But you can actually set up you know, the Grape, that's our Solana Gamings, and then I've got
Yeah.
I don't have many NFTs in this because most of my gaming NFTs are in different wallets. So building a portals room I found was a bit difficult at the start. They've gotten better now, but yeah, man, that's fucking awesome. Cheers for your time, mate.
Yeah. No, sweet, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll leave you guys to it. We'll head over to the Shade Discord and we'll watch on the YouTube. So, cheers for that. And I'll catch you around real soon, dude.
So that's finishing off there from Eborall at Shade. That's going to be our week. So we had STEPN and Eborall from Shade. We had Yawn coming on stage with Jason. So obviously I'm very, very heavy in the STEPN community. I do 10 live events a week for it. It was really cool to have Yawn come in here and talk to Grape. I think this is a game that should be on more people's radar. But because it's such a high soul floor entry, it's very hard for people to justify spending that kind of money. But, you know, it's active. You can play the game now from 10 minutes a day. We've got some really fucking big events coming up with the Trailblazers, the airdrops, the IDO drop, things like that. But Eborall now from Shade having their multiplayer coming out the next month. You can get into that as a game from one Solana on Magic Eden. So it was important to see the updates after and how the teams handled and pivoted from not selling out. But I like that they sold 777. That's a good chunk of funding for the team, because ultimately when you're buying an NFT, a lot of people are worried about flipping it to the moon and all of that. Them actually selling on Magic Eden and stuff like that is also important for the team. So having NFTs that are selling and trading hands is also important, because you can see there's a artist royalties here, 7.77%. That funds the team as well. So that helps having them. So having at least just under 1,000 777 members is good, because if people are buying, selling, they're going to be doing a dot atom NFT down the track. Multiplayer, built by a gamer. They're going to be building out multiple things. So it'll be interesting to see how that game goes out. We're absolutely going to get them back. We're absolutely going to start streaming them via someone called Porter. He's in stage. He's listened. He said hello today. He's going to start streaming them, and we're going to aim to play them Saturday nights as well. Not every single week, but there's no reason why we couldn't run 5 or 10 minutes and do a map challenge. And that's going to be stuff that from Grape that we're going to be trying to push into that 3.0 content a lot more. And getting them here. So have I got any closing thoughts from anybody on stage? Like it's you guys coming in every week that makes this possible. I'm happy to listen to any questions or anything.
What I have to say as a community member of Shade, I appreciate you doing this. This is huge. Shade has been a long way. I've really been with them from the beginning. I saw them mint out. People tried to moon flip. It didn't work. They didn't really trust in the project, so they kept paper handing. But floor price was 0.5 2 days ago. We're up at 0.9. Heavy holders. There's a VIP chat of listeners of 5 or more. Most of them are also in other really big alpha chats. I'm part of a few. So it's a solid project. Heavy holders. It's a good move. Not do your own research, but Shade is it. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, dude. Look, and honestly, it is. I agree. Like, this is the problem with Solana and NFTs and blockchain gaming is, people want mint flips. They want rarities. They want to get this thing, and they couldn't work it out early in that in the mint. I think is one of the problems of what happened. So it was hard to see what the rarities were initially. So people couldn't work out if they were getting good ones. Didn't want to mint more. There wasn't huge sentiment, which it surprised me because there was gameplay. Like he had a playable game with wicked fucking music early, and it's good to see extra community coming from their Discord to ours. And I appreciate you saying hello, and even seeing extra players coming across to support us at Grape during the events and stuff is good.
Yeah, I'll be around Grape. You guys, huge community too. It's good to see the mashup of the communities. It's really nice. And another thing on Eborall, he's always there. He's present. We've played Apex these past few nights. Every night we played Shade every night as well. It's a solid community. Like being a part of that, that's something you miss out on if you don't really I live on an island, so it's coming from somebody that doesn't really talk much. So it's good to have that extra outlook and have those gamers there that are. You hit them up, hey, you guys want to play this, and it's like yes or no, and it's like let's go do something else or let's play. Like it's a solid community. I really like it. Can't say much communities are like that. So
You get a few of them. It's the problem is that you get, because there's 200 plus games building out, you might get several communities of 20 to 50 people, like, you know, because that's what drives a big project, isn't it? If you've got 20 to 50 people, sometimes it's 5 to 10, but if you're on every night, you're building a friendship, you're playing a game together, that might stretch into a Apex, League of Legends, by the sounds that you guys are playing a bit of League as well. And that's
League,
good.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So, well, look, I watched. I jumped in the other night and saw he was streaming Apex. I've never played Apex; it doesn't stress me out. But League, I still. That's
Completely frozen. Just want to give you a heads up. I may have lost me.
I lost me. I disconnected there. No, I think that was me, Coco.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I paused out on screen. I saw that. Yeah, it's cool. You know, like I love seeing the communities. I love seeing the gamers. I'm a traditional gamer, and this is if we want to onboard traditional gamers into crypto games, then we need to have these communities building, don't we? Otherwise, a gamer's going to come in and say, "What, you want me to spend $500 on this?" And there's no game. They're just going to leave, aren't they? And they're going to go back to League of Legends, Clash of Clans, fucking Apex, all your first-person shooters, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just started streaming. Not to you can shoot me an ad, but look at that. That's 2 ranked games back to back on League, 30-7, 30-9. I may have flopped the next one, but I play League all the time. So I heard you play League a lot. We should link up and get a few games in.
I'm not good at it, dude. I'm a bronzy. I like the Saturday night after I finish, because we do I do about 3 to 4 hours of video work and streams and that on a Saturday night. Afterwards, you know, it's midnight my time. I shoot on for a couple of hours and play a couple of games. But it's cool that we've got it. I really want to get into some of these 3.0 games, and that's the thing. You know, we've actually got the chance now, and playing these games can be rewarding as well. You know, like yeah, Porter, I'm glad bronze, and it's such a toxic game. A lot of traditional games are toxic, and now I just don't care. You just mute all and play the game, have a bit of fun, and just fucking play it. You know, like you get some peanut swearing or stressing or AFKs, yeah, so bad. But thanks for saying so, Coco. Anyone else before we log out? Kendall Base in YouTube. Congratulations on your sneakers this week, my friend. Thank you for coming on and asking questions and keeping it different. Yeah, it does. It all starts from 10 minutes a day, and it's, you know what, that's a STEPN saying I had. It all starts from 10 minutes a day. The game's based on one common pair of sneakers, and you get 10 minutes. But could you imagine if we played 10 minutes a day of some of these games every week? And that would be two to 3 laps of something like Shade. But yeah, we're definitely going to be playing more. And I appreciate everyone coming along today. You guys make it worthwhile.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I'll see you. Shade out.